Hey y'all, I am Jude from Queerty, and I am here today with our Pride 50 honoree, Noah J. Ricketts. Hi Noah, happy Pride.
Hi, happy Pride.
What are you celebrating this Pride season?
I think this Pride season I'm just celebrating queer joy. I spent a lot of time doing Fellow Travelers, the series, and, it's set in a period where they didn't get to experience queer joy. So now I'm on the other side of that. I'm reclaiming that for all of us, that we get to go out in the streets and have a lot of pride and have a lot of fun this summer.
Do you remember what your first Pride was like?
Yeah, I definitely remember my first Pride. It was when I first moved to New York City. And so I had started working on Broadway, and before the show, they have the huge, huge parade, obviously, in New York City. So I went downtown to meet a bunch of friends, and I remember getting like glitter put all over my face, stickers, catching beads, doing the whole 9 yards. So that by the time I came to do my matinee performance, I was a completely different person. And to this day, I have not missed a New York Pride parade since.
Oh my god, that's amazing. The makeup team must not have been happy with you that day. Yeah, let's talk about Fellow Travelers too, because that series just took the world by storm last year. So exciting. So, how do you feel about the series in retrospect now that you've had some time away from it?
I think what I feel in retrospect is just proud. I'm just proud that we were able to get this series off the ground. I'm proud that it now exists in the canon of gay literature and media, that it's out there. And I will tell you, I've done a lot of projects, and this is the one that seems to really resonate with people. I have so many people come up to me on the street, so many people come up to me out in New York City and just say, thank you for making such a powerful series. So the biggest thing I can say that I took away from it is just the sense of pride at the whole thing.
Of course, now you are back on Broadway in The Great Gatsby. You're playing Nick Carraway, who is the narrator in the book, and he also is sort of like a point of contention for a lot of literary buffs. A lot of people have a queer reading of the character, specifically in the novel. So I was just curious, as an out queer actor, did you consider that reading of the character for your interpretation, or how did your queerness inform your performance as Nick?
Oh, definitely. So, a part of the creation of the role was, seeing how much queerness lies in the stage adaptation. A lot of people were upset with the portrayal in the movie because it kind of straight-washed the entire queerness about Nick. And so as we were developing this for Broadway, I definitely put in a lot of what I'll call Easter eggs that I allow the audience to make their own interpretation of. I think an important thing to remember is that it's a period piece. So being out and a proud gay man in the 1920s is a little different than 2024. And so we had to honor that and respect that as well. But it's definitely there, and it definitely lives and breathes in the body of the character, for sure.
And then one thing that we're asking all of our Pride 50 honorees this year is, what do you think is your queer superpower?
I think my queer superpower is truth-telling. I always find myself in roles that require an ultimate telling of truth, like Frankie in Fellow Travelers, or some of the roles I've done on stage. And even in my own life, I find myself reminding queer folks of the truth of themselves. You need that person that reminds you of exactly who you are. So I think that's my superpower, truth-telling.
Thank you again for chatting with us and being a part of this year's Pride 50 at Queerty, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your Pride season.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be on the list.